Almost all car owners have WD-40, but 90% of them do not use WD-40 to its full potential. And here's the shocker. Mechanics gatekeep these secrets that can save you $3,000 in car repairs. Today, we'll reveal 18 WD-40 tricks that save you serious money. Don't skip. Number 3 will literally save you $3,000 in repair. Let's begin with Trick 18. Clean a gunked up gas cap. Your gas cap looks dirty and hasn't been clean in years. Here's the fix. Spray WD-40 generously around the threads, the underside of the cap, and the sealing ring. Let it sit for a minute to cut through the buildup. Then wipe it down with a clean microfiber cloth. The formula dissolves hardened grime, lubricates the threads, and restores a clean seal that snaps tight every time. Apply a light follow-up coat before screwing it back on, and your cap will turn smooth, seal properly, and stay clean for months. Do this every few months as part of your regular maintenance routine, and you'll likely never see a fuel-related check engine code again. Most people spend hundreds chasing that check engine light through diagnostics, when the fix was sitting in their garage the whole time. It's the kind of 2-minute job that keeps a check engine light from ruining your morning. If that trick saved you money, this next WD-40 trick is about to mind-blow you. Trick 17. Remove water spots from side mirrors. There are cloudy white spots clinging to your side mirrors like they've been baked on. Mineral deposits from rain and tap water bond to the glass surface, leaving behind a haze that distorts your reflection and makes your mirrors look permanently dirty. Here's what actually works. Spray a light mist of WD-40 directly onto the mirror glass and let it sit for about 30 seconds. Then buff it gently with a clean microfiber cloth in circular motions. Watch those mineral deposits lift cleanly off the surface, leaving glass that's clear, streak-free, and glare-resistant. The formula breaks down the mineral bonds without damaging the mirror coating, and it leaves behind a thin, water-repelling layer that causes rain to bead right off. Make it a habit after every car wash, and your mirrors will stay clearer between cleans far longer than you'd expect. A clear side mirror isn't just about looks, it's about seeing the car in the next lane before it's too late. Detailers use this before handing back cars after a full detail, and now you'll never squint into a cloudy mirror again. This next WD-40 hack is so genius, it will make your car cleaner. Trick 16. Clean leather and vinyl seats. Dirt grinds into your leather seats and that rich surface starts looking dull, cracked, and just plain tired. Most people reach for expensive conditioners or harsh cleaners that strip the finish even further. Here's what the pros actually use first. Spray a small amount of WD-40 onto a clean microfiber cloth, never directly onto the seat, and wipe along the natural grain of the material. The formula lifts embedded grime, dissolves surface oils, and softens the leather without soaking through it. You'll see the dirt transfer onto the cloth almost immediately. Follow up with a dry wipe and the seat surface will look darker, cleaner, and noticeably more supple. It conditions as it cleans, helping the material flex instead of crack. Run it along your door panel inserts and center console trim while you're at it, because those surfaces collect the same oils and respond just as well. Cracked leather is almost impossible to fully restore once it gets bad enough, so keeping it supple now saves you from an expensive reupholstery job down the road. One pass and your seats look years younger without spending a cent on a detailing appointment. This next one sounds crazy, but it actually works. Trick 15. Clean and restore your tires. Your tires have that dull brownish film that no amount of water seems to wash away. Brake dust, road tar, and built-up rubber oxidation leave the sidewall looking flat and neglected, even when the rest of the car is spotless. Here's the move. Spray WD-40 directly onto the tire sidewall and work it in with an old cloth or detailing brush. The formula cuts through oxidation and road tar in seconds, lifting that brown layer and revealing the deep black rubber underneath. Wipe off the excess, and the difference is instant. Your tires will look darker, cleaner, and freshly detailed. It also creates a protective barrier that slows down the browning process, so your tires stay blacker between washes. A quick pass before a car show, a road trip, or even just a weekend drive makes the whole vehicle look like it just rolled off the lot. People underestimate how much a set of clean black tires changes the entire presence of a car on the road. Clean tires make the whole car look $1,000 sharper. And now let's talk about a visibility problem that you can fix with WD-40. This will 100% surprise you. Trick 14. Clean a hazy windshield. Your windshield has a smeared, oily haze that makes every oncoming headlight bloom into a blinding starburst. It's not just annoying. At night, it's genuinely dangerous. That film is a combination of road exhaust, silicone vapors from your dashboard, and residue that water alone never fully removes. Here's the fix. Spray a light coat of WD-40 onto the windshield and spread it evenly with a microfiber cloth. Give it 30 seconds, then wipe it completely off with a clean, dry cloth. What comes off the glass will surprise you. Brown, filmy residue that's been building up for months. The surface underneath will be clear, smooth, and hydrophobic, causing rain to sheet straight off instead of smearing. Pair it with a quick wiper blade wipe down while you're at it, and your visibility in the next rainstorm will feel like a completely different car. Most drivers wash the outside of their windshield and never think about that WD-40 can be used to clean it properly. Mechanics and detailers know this trick. Now you do too. This next trick will restore something you never ever clean in your life. Trick 13. Clean and restore your exhaust tips. Your exhaust tips are black, carbon-caked, and killing the back end of an otherwise good-looking car. That hardened soot bakes onto the metal at extreme heat, and regular soap doesn't touch it. Here's the simple trick. Reach for your WD-40, spray it generously inside and around the tip, and let the formula soak into that carbon layer for a minute or two. Then work it with a microfiber cloth or soft detailing brush. The buildup will begin releasing almost immediately, dark residue lifting cleanly off the metal in long wipes. Buff it dry and the tip beneath will shine like it just came off the showroom floor. WD-40 also leaves behind a protective coating that makes the next carbon buildup far easier to remove. If you have dual exhaust tips, do both at the same time so the finish matches and looks intentional rather than half done. Chrome exhaust tips that gleam against a clean bumper are one of those small details that make people stop and look twice at your car. It's a detail that turns a tired-looking rear end into something worth showing off. This next WD-40 hack will very much shock you. Trick 12. Refresh rubber floor mats. Your rubber floor mats look cracked, faded, and permanently dirty even right after a wash. Mud, salt, and road grime have ground into the surface so deep that a rinse barely makes a dent. Here's what you should do instead. After hosing down your mats, spray a light coat of WD-40 over the surface and spread it evenly with a cloth. The formula seeps into the rubber, restoring flexibility and pushing out the deep-set grime that water alone can't reach. Wipe off the excess and set them aside to dry. When you lay them back in, they'll look darker, refreshed, and solid black again, the way they looked when the car was new. The protective layer left behind also repels future moisture and makes your next cleanup a fraction of the effort. This works just as well on rubber trunk liners and cargo mats, so don't stop at the floor. Fresh-looking mats are one of those interior details that quietly tell everyone who rides in your car exactly how much you care about it. Small detail, big difference. This next WD-40 secret is hidden by repair shops. Trick 11. Restore faded tail lights. Your tail lights have gone milky and yellowed, and it's making your car look older than it is. Worse, that haze scatters your light output and reduces how visible you are to drivers behind you, which is a safety issue, not just a cosmetic one. Here's the quick fix. Spray WD-40 directly onto the tail light lens and wipe in smooth circular motions with a clean microfiber cloth. Almost immediately, the fog begins to lift and the lens starts looking clearer, brighter, and sharper. The formula fills in microscopic surface scratches, restores light transmission, and leaves a thin protective layer that slows future fading. Keep a can in your trunk and hit the lenses with a quick pass every couple of months to stay ahead of the yellowing before it comes back. In some states, excessively faded taillights can actually get you pulled over, so keeping them clear is about more than just appearances. Mechanics quietly use this trick before returning cars, and customers always think they got new lights. Before we proceed with the WD-40 hacks that will blow your mind, kindly hit that like button and subscribe. It will help us keep bringing you more secrets mechanics don't want you to know. Now let's talk about something that sounds simple to be possible. Trick 10. Clean dusty interior surfaces. Your dashboard and door panels have a thick grey film that wipe downs never seem to fully clear. Here's the clean solution. Spray a small amount of WD-40 onto a microfiber cloth, never directly at the surface, and wipe along your dashboard, door panels, center console, and trim pieces. The formula traps and lifts dust instead of spreading it, and leaves behind a conditioning layer that makes plastic and vinyl repel future buildup. Your interior won't just look cleaner, it'll stay cleaner longer between wipes. Pay extra attention to the air vents, because dust packed into those fins is what gets recirculated through your cabin every time you run the AC. A clean interior doesn't just look better, it actually makes the air you're breathing inside the car noticeably fresher on every drive. Detailers use this as a finishing step every single time, and now you'll know exactly why every surface looks so sharp when you pick up a just detailed car. The 5 minutes you spend on this today will save you from breathing in months of built-up dust every single time you turn on the AC. Now for a genius WD-40 trick you 100% don't know about. Trick 9. Coat your car paint for protection. Your car's paint is constantly under attack. Bird droppings, tree sap, road tar, and bug guts land on your hood every single day, and every one of them can etch into your clear coat if left to bake in the sun. Here's the move. After a wash and dry, spray a light mist of WD-40 onto one panel at a time and buff it evenly with a clean microfiber cloth. The surface will take on a deep, wet-looking shine, and the protective film left behind makes contaminants slide right off on contact. It's not a substitute for wax or ceramic coating long-term, but as a quick protective layer between full details, it's one of the most underrated moves in any detailer's kit. Focus especially on the hood and front bumper, since those panels take the most direct impact from road debris and insects at highway speed. A single long highway drive can cake your front end with enough bug acid and tar to start dulling your clear coat within days. If there's nothing protecting it, your paint will thank you the next time a bird decides to make its mark. A basic respray on a single panel can run anywhere from $300 to over $1,000. And this $6 can is all that stands between your paint and that bill. This next one is shocking. Trick 8. Lubricate stiff seatbelts. Your seatbelt is sticking mid-draw, snapping back unevenly, or fighting you every time you pull it across. A seatbelt that doesn't retract properly can fail to hold tension in a collision, so this isn't something to ignore. Here's the fix. Pull the seatbelt out to full extension and spray a light, even mist of WD-40 along the full length of the webbing. Work it gently into the fabric by running a clean cloth along the belt, then allow it to retract slowly several times. The formula loosens built-up grime, lubricates the internal spring mechanism, and restores that smooth, consistent pull and retract that tells you your belt is working exactly as it should. Do all the belts in the car while you're at it, because if the driver's side is stiff, the passenger belts usually aren't far behind. A seatbelt that snaps back cleanly every time is one of those things you never notice until it stops working, and by then, you've already been annoyed for weeks. It's one of those hidden maintenance steps mechanics quietly check and never mention on the invoice. A seatbelt replacement at a dealership can run anywhere from $200 to $500, so keeping yours maintained with a $2 fix is one of the smartest moves you'll make all year. This next one will save your thousands in repairs. Trick 7. Fix a sluggish ignition switch. You insert your key, and instead of a clean, snappy turn, you feel stiffness, grinding resistance, or a key that barely wants to go in. Most people assume the ignition cylinder is failing and brace for an expensive repair. 9 times out of 10, it's just dust and dried out lubricant inside the lock tumbler. Here's what to do before you call a locksmith. With the key out, spray a short, controlled burst of WD-40 directly into the ignition keyhole. Insert your key and turn it slowly back and forth several times to work the formula through the mechanism. What felt like a grinding seized cylinder will begin turning smoothly with every pass. The formula dissolves built-up grit, re-lubricates the tumbler pins, and restores clean engagement. If you have a spare key that's been sitting unused, treat that lock cylinder with the same spray so it doesn't seize up from neglect the one time you actually need it. Ignition cylinder replacements can run anywhere from $150 to $400 at a shop, and most of the time the problem is nothing more than a dried out lock that a $6 can of WD-40 fixes in 60 seconds. Same first step any locksmith takes. Now you can skip straight to the fix yourself. Do this twice a year as routine maintenance, and you may never have an ignition problem worth worrying about again. You'd be shocked by this next one. Trick 6. Silence a squealing serpentine belt. Your serpentine belt is screaming every time you start the car, and every head on the block turns to look. That squeal happens when dust, humidity, and surface glazing cause the belt to slip over the pulleys instead of gripping them. Before you replace the belt, grab your WD-40. With the engine off, give the belt's inner surface and each pulley a light-controlled mist. Start the car, and the squeal will drop away almost immediately. WD-40 dissolves the surface glazing and residue causing the slip and lets the belt find proper traction again. It's not a permanent fix if your belt is genuinely worn out, but it's the fastest way to find out whether you need a new belt or just a clean one, and it could save you an unnecessary shop visit. While you're under the hood, inspect the belt for cracking or fraying, because if the rubber is visibly deteriorating, no amount of WD-40 will substitute for a proper replacement. A new Serpentine belt at a shop can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 in labor alone. So knowing whether the squeal is dirt or wear before you walk through that door puts the power back in your hands. Mechanics know this trick. They just don't always tell you about it. Walking into a shop already knowing the difference between a dirty belt and a worn one is the kind of knowledge that stops a service writer from upselling you on repairs you simply don't need. Now for a hack you never thought you can do. Trick 5. Free up stiff window tracks. Your window grinds, squeaks, or hesitates every time you roll it down, and it gets worse in cold weather. The rubber-lined channels your glass slides through collect dust, road grime, and moisture until the window is practically dragging through mud. Here's the fix. Lower your window halfway and spray WD-40 directly into the exposed track on both sides. Run the window up and down several times slowly to work the formula through the full length of the channel. What was grinding and hesitating will now glide with barely any sound at all. The lubricant cleans out packed-in debris and keeps the rubber pliable through all weather. Don't forget the rear windows either, since those tracks get neglected even longer and are usually in far worse shape than the fronts. A window that moves smoothly and seals cleanly also keeps road noise, wind buffeting, and water leaks from creeping into your cabin during highway drives and rainstorms. In winter especially, frozen window tracks can crack your glass if forced. One quick spray keeps everything moving all year long. A window regulator replacement, the mechanism that actually moves the glass, can run anywhere from $150 to $300 at a shop, and keeping those tracks lubricated is the single easiest way to make sure you never need one. Now a trick to save you hundreds of dollars. Trick 4. Free a stuck side mirror. Your power side mirror has stopped adjusting. The motor strains every time you hit the button, and you're driving with a blind spot every lane change. The problem usually isn't the motor. It's the pivot joints gummed up with road grime and corroded from moisture sitting in the housing. Here's the move. Spray WD-40 carefully into the joint and around the adjustment housing and give it a minute to penetrate the buildup. Then try your adjustment controls again. You'll often feel the mirror loosen immediately, tracking smoothly through its full range of motion. For manually adjustable mirrors, the same spray restores easy movement and prevents the joint from locking up after rain or cold weather. A pre-winter spray on both mirrors takes less than 2 minutes and can save you from a frozen, unadjustable mirror on the coldest morning of the year. Driving with a mirror stuck in the wrong position isn't just inconvenient. It's a genuine blind spot that puts you and every driver around you at risk. It saves you a dealer visit to diagnose a motor that isn't actually broken. Power mirror motor replacements can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 in parts and labor. And the real tragedy is that most of the time the motor was never the problem to begin with. This one will definitely shock you a lot. Trick 3. Unstick a seized parking brake cable. You release your parking brake and the car doesn't move. The cable has frozen or corroded inside its housing, holding your rear brakes in a grip no amount of lever pumping will release. Before you call a tow truck, here's what to do. Locate the parking brake cable running underneath the vehicle along the chassis. Spray WD-40 generously along the cable length and directly into any exposed housing openings. Let it soak for several minutes, then cycle the parking brake on and off while gently rocking the car. The lubricant breaks the corrosion bond inside the housing, restores cable movement, and releases that locked tension. Once it's freed up, give the full cable run one more thorough spray as a preventive coat, so moisture can't work its way back in and refreeze the same section. This is especially critical if you live somewhere with heavy winter salting, because road salt accelerates cable corrosion faster than almost anything else underneath the car. It's a simple fix most mechanics will charge a diagnostic fee just to perform themselves. Parking brake cable replacements can run anywhere from $100 to $300 depending on your vehicle. And the most frustrating part is that regular lubrication with a $6 can could have prevented the whole situation from the start. This next WD-40 trick saves drivers thousands. Trick 2. Clean your mass airflow sensor. Your engine is running rough, the throttle feels hesitant, and your fuel economy has quietly tanked. Before you pay for a full diagnostic scan, check your mass airflow sensor. When it gets coated with oil residue and airborne dust, it sends wrong data to your engine's computer, and the result is poor performance, wasted fuel, and a check engine light. Here's the fix. Remove the MAF sensor from the air intake housing, typically 2 screws and a connector clip. Spray WD-40 lightly across the sensor wires and sensing elements, and let it sit for about 60 seconds. Then gently wipe with a clean, dry cloth and allow it to fully air dry before reinstalling. The formula dissolves the oily film without damaging the delicate sensor elements. Make sure the sensor is completely dry before reconnecting it, because reinstalling it wet can temporarily throw off your readings and trigger the exact warning light you were trying to clear. A brand new MAF sensor can cost anywhere from $80 to over $300, depending on your vehicle. So spending 60 seconds with a can of WD-40 before replacing it is always worth the attempt. Many drivers report the rough idle disappearing and the check engine light clearing on its own within a few drive cycles. Now for the #1 WD-40 trick that will make your car 10 times cleaner. Trick 1. Restore your front grille. Your front grille is the face of your car, and right now it looks like a bug graveyard. Road debris, brake dust, and baked-on insects have turned what was once a sharp, bold finish into a dull, pitted mess that drags down the entire front end. Here's how to bring it back. Spray WD-40 generously across the grille surface, working it into the slats and mesh where residue has baked in. Let it sit for a minute, then work through it with a soft detailing brush. Wipe it down with a clean microfiber cloth and stand back. The grime will lift cleanly, the finish will darken and sharpen, and a thin protective layer will be left behind that makes future bugs and road debris far easier to clean off. Do a follow-up spray every few weeks during road trip season when insect buildup is at its worst, and your grille will never get to that baked-on stage again. The front grille is literally the first thing anyone sees when your car pulls up, and a clean one signals immediately that this is a vehicle someone actually takes pride in. Body shops use this as a pre-sale touch-up before putting cars on the lot. One pass and your front end looks aggressive, clean, and ready to turn heads before you even pull out of the driveway. If you learned something new today, hit that like button. Comment down below which one surprised you the most. Want to know more car secrets that can save you hundreds in repair bills? Click the next video about genius car tips. Your bank account will thank you.